Well, Steelers Nation, sorry it took me so long to get this video out, but I just got out of the hospital after having the bleach pumped out of my stomach. Just kidding. I've said it 1,000 times. This is a league built on parity, so you're going to have some tight games, you're going to have some close games, you're going to have some losses. When you're legislated to all be 8-8, and the only thing that makes you better is you win in the margins. Sometimes you win in the margins, sometimes you lose in the margins. Offensively, what a stinker Aaron put up. He 16 for 31 for 161, one passing touchdown, which came late, and the two INTs. I mean, one was his fault, one came off of the hands of CA3. But you gotta haul that in, or at least knock it down, not knock it up for the next guy. So, I mean, it was a rough outing for him. I'm not gonna lie. He's old. He's older. He's gonna have rough games, but I'm not giving up on him. I'm not calling for Will Howard like a lot of the delusional fan base is going to call for. We brought Aaron in not to set the world on fire and have the 15-2 regular season record. We brought him in to help us win playoff games. We're still in a position to win playoff games. We're still leading the division. We hold the fate in our hands. And if you look at our losses, I'll talk about that later. They're explainable away. But back to the offense. Jaylen Warren had an amazing game again. 14 carries, 70 yards. Just the guy's a bowling ball. You get him going downfield, you can't get him stopped. As far as receiving, nobody had more than 3 catches. DK had 3, and Pat had 3, but other than that, everybody else is below that. And you had, like I said, Aaron had a rough game. He missed DK on that early one, which would have been an easy touchdown. He overthrew Jonnu. Well, it looked like Jonnu made a good catch. I'm not going to debate whether he held it up to his wrist or not. It did touch the ground, so whatever. So that's that. As far as offense goes, it was an ugly offensive game. As far as the plays go, I don't think we had a drive longer than 7 plays, maybe 8 plays. 8 plays at the end in the fourth quarter, which led to a turnover on downs. But when you have, let me count them up: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of your, I think it was 10 drives, maybe 11 drives, end in less than 3 plays on either turnovers or turnovers on downs. Or, I mean, I guess one early in the game was a field goal that put us up 3-2 or 3-0. But you gotta sustain drives. You gotta keep the defense off the field, because your defense gets tired. Your defense is old. I mean, everybody's old on this team except for your core offense. But I'll talk about that later as well. Defensively, they gave up a fair chunk of points. I mean, 2 obviously are credit to the offense. So you got 23 overall given up there, but you had a few. Let me look at their drives, their scoring drives, how those all turned out. Field goal, 7 plays, 6 plays, 7 plays. We had 2 interceptions, so they get the ball back on short fields or shorter fields than your defense was expecting after either getting a stop or giving up a touchdown on the drive before. They're right back out there after, I think the one pick was 3 plays into the drive and the other pick was 2 plays into the drive. So you're gassing out your defense by making them stay on the field longer than they should. Time of possession. Let me find the time of possession here if they got it. You have to edit this out, Jordan. There it is. Nothing about time of possession though. Oh, time of possession. Yeah, the defense was on the field for 37 minutes as opposed to the offense on there for 22 minutes. So you got to even those numbers out for that defense, or they're gonna get gassed. As far as the splash plays go that I talk about, I mean, TJ called it out in his press game conference that we can't rely on those, but TJ, you're 10 years into the league, and that's all this defense has relied on since you've been here and since I've been a fan. Anyways, is those big sacks, big turnovers, and things like that. That's it. We've never, you know, 09, 06, those Super Bowl defenses were, you know, shut down, lock them down, keep them to 10 points. But ever since those days, you've been reliant on, you know, your strip sacks and your fumble recoveries and your picks and your big moment sacks. And I mean, we had five sacks in this game, but they weren't timely sacks like the other sacks. It was just kind of a lot of, you know, coverage sacks, I'd call them. Not big, getting to the backfield in a hurry and, you know, stifling the offensive line and making them question their abilities. It was a lot of, you know, the defense on the back end is holding them up, and you guys get home after, you know, 4 seconds or things like that. I don't remember the stat, but Justin Herbert was holding on to the ball for like 3 seconds or whatever. It was his longest release, snap to release of the year. So you got to get back there faster, especially against a beat-up offensive line like they got. Special teams, Corliss Waitman had a wonderful game again. I think we got our punter of the future after we tried to draft the one kid, the Harvin kid, who had a big leg but couldn't consistently do it. And then after signing Bill Burr's brother, who got injured in the first game. But yeah, 4 punts, 183, a long of 51 and 2 inside the 20s. He's doing a good game of, or doing a good job of, you know, flipping the field or pinning the offense back. It's just we can't get off the field with the defense, and you got those long sustained drives. Boswell, 1 extra point, 1 of 2 on field goals. The miss was about a 54 or something like that. It looked good. I think it hit the pole. It might not have hit the pole, but it was close. You're trotting him out there for 50 yarders left and right. He's going to miss one. He's not infallible. As far as returns go, a couple good kickoff returns out of Gainwell had a 36-yarder. He had 2, and then teams seem to be kicking it away from Williams now since he didn't break one, but he's, like I said earlier or in previous videos, he's set to break one. But overall, this game, I'm going to chalk it up to, you know, things I've said in the past. You got an older team on a West Coast game at night. That's a hard game to win. A lot of these losses aren't your typical, if you're looking back at, you know, Mike Tomlin season in the past, where it's holy shit, we shouldn't have lost that game. You know, a Sunday noon game to the Bears or something like that. You've got 2 losses to the top NFC teams. You got Seattle and Green Bay, and then you got the Thursday night game to a division rival on the road, and then you got another night game, another night loss for an older team on the West Coast. These aren't bad losses. It's not something to get upset about or to bench Aaron. He's going to have bad games. He's getting to that stage in his career where, you know, he's not infallible. He's trying to stay healthy to get to the point that we brought him in for. And right now we're 5-4. We're leading the division. We have that in our hands. And you have 2 wins over the top 2 AFC teams right now, albeit those were, we had 5 turnovers and 6 turnovers, but that's the defense you got to play with. That's the defense that you got to win with. It's the defense, the way the defense is built. I'm not calling for Terrell Austin's job, because that's what his defense does. You got to make those turnovers. They did bring in Sante Samuel Jr. in. So that's going to shore it up on the back end. I mean, he's coming off spinal fusion surgery. We'll see if he is what he was. But as far as their defensive prospects, what they've brought in, aside from Darius Slay, who is another guy long in the tooth, but has made significant plays when needed. But Kyle Duggar came in, had another impressive game. You got him and Ramsey playing safety, and I think they're doing a wonderful job. Like I said, our sacks weren't the quick, TJ blowing by a guy or Alex blowing by a guy. It was a long coverage sack for the most part out of all of them. Benton's came up the middle, but as long as you keep showing up that back end, I think I think the process is going to be fine. We're going to get to where we need to be. We might get a home playoff game, or we might get the 5 seed where we get to play the 4 seed. And I don't have a problem going to Indiana Saturday. Saturday night might suck, but maybe a Saturday 4 o'clock game to get that wild card round win. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We got Cincinnati. We got to make up win to get here. I think we can do that against them at home. We'll see what Joe has. Joe, our kryptonite.